Welcome to another episode of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Well, today I'm going to make you a Papa Bojo original creation, Polish American chili. Now, this is a fusion between Mexican or the American Southwest and Polish in terms of ingredients, but it's a great chili and you're going to want to take note of this and you're going to want to try and make it. Here are your ingredients. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get our flame going about medium to medium high, and we're going to want to roast our poblano peppers on here. We want these to blister up real good. So you don't want your heat too hot because you don't want these to blister too quickly. You want the peppers to soften up a bit. So we'll take a look, and oh, this is nice and blistered. Maybe we could have let it go a little longer, but right now that's pretty good. While our peppers are blistering, we're going to add our pork pieces into our flour, and we're just going to coat these. When our peppers are done blistering, we're going to turn the heat off, and we're just going to set them just off to the side just a little bit. Let them cool for maybe about a minute. As you notice, I have a regular green bell pepper blistering away over here as well. I'm adding some olive oil to a pot, and I'm going to turn the heat on medium. Now I'm going to place my peppers in a plastic bag because I want them to steam. Once the oil's heated up, I'm adding in my floured pork pieces. But now I'm going to let them saute and brown just a little bit. Once they start browning, we're just going to mix them up a bit because we want to get some of that browning all over the pieces. Once we have some decent color on these pork pieces, we're going to bring them over to a plate. Understand and realize that these pork pieces are not yet fully done. Now we're going to add in our onion. And we're going to stir it. We're going to pick up the bits and pieces on the bottom of the pot while the onion sautés. Now that the onions are partially translucent, I'm going to add in my carrot and my celery. Once the onions are translucent, we're going to add in our garlic and stir. As soon as you smell the garlic, add in your pork sausage. Now I'm using breakfast pork sausage because it already has sage in it. And this is spicy pork sausage. So because of that, I'm not adding any cayenne to my chili. If you don't want to use breakfast sausage, you don't have to. You can use just regular ground pork. You could use ground beef if you want. If you don't want pork chunks, you can change those to beef chunks. Make it the way you want to. This is just more of a Polish porkish type flair. Once your ground pork is half browned, you're going to add back in your pork chunks. And you're going to stir. Now we're going to add in our diced tomato. And we're going to add in our seasoning and stir. Now we're going to add in our water. We're going to stir and bring this to a boil. While we're waiting for the chili to come up to a boil, we're going to take our peppers off. We're going to take the skin off. Now the reason why I've charred this is going to give a smoky flavor to the peppers when we blend them. It's going to add a little bit of smokiness to the flavor of our chili, which is what we want. You could also put these peppers in the oven and broil them and roast them that way. Or if you have a grill, you can put them on a grill. Once we have the peppers peeled, and they don't have to be peeled perfectly, just pretty good, because we're going to be blending this up. Then we're going to cut these in half, and we're going to get all the seeds out and the stem. Now, once we have the peppers pretty much seeded and peeled, we're just going to cut them into chunks. We're going to add the peppers to the blender. We're going to get a couple ladlefuls of our chili broth. We're going to add our chili broth to our blender and liquefy. Once it's liquefied, we're going to add this back into our chili. You see our chili is boiling. We're going to add our peppers to it. And look at the color it turns it. Nice white green chili. Now we're going to stir and bring this back up to a boil. If you see this oil that's on top of here, you can leave that or you can remove it. I'm going to remove it. If you're wondering where this oil came from, that came from our pork sausage. It's got a lot of fat in it. Now once this comes to a boil, we're going to add in our beans. You can add all white beans. You can add whatever beans you want. I like to use a mixture of white and black beans. Now we're going to bring this up to a boil. When it comes to a boil, we're going to set to simmer. We're going to cover on simmer for about a half hour. So the chili is done, and now we're ready to serve. Taking a couple ladlefuls of this great chili. I'm going to add a dollop of sour cream right in the middle. And I'm going to stick one tortilla chip right in the middle here. And here you have it, a Papa Bojo original Polish chili. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. I hope you come see me again. Smacznego, everybody. Bye.